September 19, 2015, the New Mexico State Lottery Building headquarters in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is a recording of a lottery protest by various locals, and that's just the front of the building, and it's around a little after 10 a.m. in the morning on this Saturday. Here's a view of the various people.
William Scherer, State Senator, District 1. S-H-A-R-E. And so you want to let maybe support this? Absolutely. While the lottery scholarship has certainly benefited New Mexicans, what we're asking is we're asking the poorest New Mexicans to fund college for the middle and upper class students. And it's one thing to go in and use $1 and buy a ticket and move on. But if you're using a credit card or a debit card, well, then all of a sudden you can be into hundreds of dollars before you even realize it. And now you have to pay interest on that money. And that's money you can't use to buy food for your own family. I think that's the problem.
We just need just the mic on the bench. And so, tell me a little bit about the demonstration. Yeah.
So here, this is just a group of people that are concerned about that. They're concerned about predatory gambling that is really encouraging people that are least able to afford to gamble more. So I think that's a problem. I'm not here as an anti-gambler, but the predatory gambling aspect of it, I do think is a problem.
Anything else you want to add?
That's it. All right, great.
You don't want to add burn, baby, burn. All right, thank you, sir.
Hey.
I used to go when it was out. Oh, they moved it in town? Yeah. Location. Right. I just walked up there a few minutes ago. Like the other place. Good stuff. Right. First I thought it was the Osuna news group, but that's farther down in the center.
Sorry, get out of your way.
Tomatoes, cucumbers, chilies. That's one reason I didn't promise. I have the feeling we're already on the same side.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean,
Carl? John?
Well, good morning.
Have to be down the left side.
How old are you?
They have a there's an east up there, and everything's there. They're full of birds.
We think that gambling, whether it's the lottery, well, so it's just
The fact is that we already have that. The whole thing is
Are there any state legislation bills concerning the lottery? That's for the next session?
Actually,
Or?
they came very close to passing
it
this.
makes it easier to exploit the poor.
Those things, internet, credit card, and debt cards, that they tried to pass legislation last time and they didn't.
Okay, so that legislation failed, but are they trying to pass legislation that is going to allow, like is the senator there involved in any legislation?
He usually supports no gambling legislation. But,
Yeah, like your We the Sheeple.
yeah.
Her dad was the first president of
I'm a new one. I've been here forever because my other grandmother's Choctaw.
I'm 1/16th Indian. I look so Indian.
Okay,
Oh my
I think
goodness.
we've got about who we're going to have.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Can we meet over here? I think I want to have this as a backdrop. You can get behind me. If you all get burned, I'm sorry. I will get us out of here within half an hour.
You're not even burning all the lottery tickets we got yet.
Okay. Welcome everyone. We appreciate you being here. I thought if we had 10 or less, we'd call it a Hillary event. If we had 50 or more, we could call it a Sanders or a Trump event. We're in between. We're in between, so I don't know what to call it. Anyway, this is Stop Predatory Gambling. I'm Dr. Guy Clark, chairman of that outfit, and we're having a day of action against predatory gambling. This is not an isolated event. There are groups all over the country. The national organization of which I am also the chairman, Stop Predatory Gambling, has been coordinating with over 100 groups that will be having activities similar to this throughout the country. And it's not only in the U.S. Groups in Italy, Australia, and England have decided to join us to have national days of action against predatory gambling as well. In this country, there are some very creative events going on. In South Carolina, the group there is taking a slot machine to the steps of the state capitol, and they're demolishing it with a sledgehammer. In Illinois, they're doing what they call Freedom Players, which is a group of, I think, 8 to 10 people go to there it's a mini casino, get in front of a line of slot machines, put a quarter in, and sit for 2 hours. Not play, just sit and read, knit,
talk to each other, surf the internet, that sort of thing. Drives the managers nuts. You know, it's perfectly legal. They just say, well, we just play very slowly. But there are activities like this all across the country. Our particular complaint, the thing that we're demonstrating about, is the state lottery, especially the CEO of the state lottery, David Barden, last year met before the Legislative Finance Committee, and he proposed that they pass laws that would legalize internet purchase of lottery tickets. That means on your cell phone, your computer. It would also legalize credit card and debit card purchase of lottery tickets. We think this is an unparalleled expansion of the lottery. It's not enough that it's already addictive and predatory, but it notches up the exploitive nature of the lottery already. Now, the way the rest of this meeting is going to go is I'm going to turn over about 10 minutes to anyone that would like to chime in and say a few words. I know we have State Senator William Scherer here. We've got a lot of common citizens. Anyone that would like to make a comment, we'd be glad to hear it. Senator Scherer, would you like to?
So the bottom line is, the way the lottery is set up today is we're asking the poorest New Mexicans to fund college for the middle and upper class New Mexicans. And with the expansion, potential expansion, using credit cards and debit cards and the internet, we're now setting them up to spend money that they just don't have. And that really ramps up the problems with this. I like the idea of everybody having the opportunity to go to college. I don't like the way we're funding it. I think that it really turns everything on its head by asking the poor to pay more so that the rich can go to college.
Thank you. Anyone else like to make a comment?
I am Jackie Farnsworth from Valencia County, and I don't like the internet. I don't like the lottery because I think it's really a tax on hopelessness. The people who are trying to fund their retirement or trying to get out of a hole that they're in by playing the lottery are being taken advantage of, and we use government funding to advertise it and get people to do it and get them to think that they're going to win big and get out of their problems, and I think that that's extremely predatory.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to chime in? You are.
I'm Dr. John Bennett. As I planned to be here this morning, I was trying to summarize my feelings, and I came up with a little quip. They play, we pay. Because when people destroy themselves and their families, lose their homes, who pays for it? You do. This just doesn't go away. These are people who can't eat. As a physician who takes care of the elderly now, I hear this all too frequently. Oh, it's just fun. Look at the old folks' homes that take people whose only income is Social Security and actually takes them to the casinos. There's a patent absurdity in all of that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
The lottery is a game for some people. Oh, my name is Mark Burton. The lottery is a game for some people, but for others it's an addiction. The government is preying on that addiction to raise more money. They have to advertise to those kinds of people that have addictions, so it stresses their families, stresses their income, and it ultimately would even cause suicides because they get so much in debt.
Thank you. I'm going to take about 6 minutes. It's been referred to about the poor and the uneducated, but there's very good documentation about this in Florida, in Texas, in South Carolina, North Carolina, New York, California. There have been major studies on the lottery, and that's what they found out. They found that the poor, the uneducated minorities spend a disproportionately large amount of their income on the lottery, on gambling. Some of it's just scary bad. There are families among the poor that spend over $100 a month, some over $1,000 a month on the lottery. It's just really outrageous. And you start looking at individuals and trying to look at it with a microscope, and it turns out that about 50% of lottery income comes from about 5% of the gamblers. And that 5% is mostly problem gamblers. So what do we have as a public policy here? The state of New Mexico's policy is for the lottery to raise money. And it's raising money from people that are addicted. Half of the money coming from people that are addicted. What kind of outrageous public policy is that? It's interesting, the voice of New Mexico. The state of New Mexico communicates with its people, but the voice of the people, the voice of the state of New Mexico, the government of New Mexico to the citizens is not save your money, to buy a home, to send your kids, to go to college yourself. The daily message of the state of New Mexico to its citizens is not get an education, go to college, go to trade school so that you can gain skills and information that will help you get a good income and make your way in the workforce. The daily message of the state of New Mexico to its citizens is not live providently, get a budget, live within that budget, recycle, reuse, save. No, none of that. The daily message of the state of New Mexico to its citizens is motorcycles. You could win. It could happen to you. You could become a millionaire. The daily voice of the state of New Mexico to its citizens is the lottery. And that message is live irresponsibly. Live in a fantasy world where you can take care of your family, where you can provide for your retirement with the lottery. The American Consumer Federation did a study several years ago, and they found that over 20% of the population considered the lottery would be their means of retirement. And when they looked at the poor, it was closer to 50%. People ask me, what do you mean by predatory? How predatory is that? That people get the message from their state government that they're going to retire on lottery income. That's just reprehensible for the government to be doing that. Our action will be directed at the legislature this coming year to help prevent legislation from passing. It's bad enough we have a lottery. I think the first step would be to prevent them from expanding it in this way. I eventually hope that we can get it thrown out, that the lottery will be gone, that as Senator Scherer said, that we can find some other means to help college students get a good education. We're going to show our disdain for this proposal of expanding the lottery by burning a lot of discarded and lost or loser lottery tickets, and then I'll have a few concluding words. But I'll take care of this now. We'll try to keep this from getting out of hand. Now this isn't very flammable stuff. It will get it going, I think.
Well, it certainly inflames us.
There we go. I can take care of this. Really, I can take care of it a lot quicker than this. But this shows our disdain for the plan that the lottery has to expand lottery sales to the internet, to the credit card and debit cards. In fact, they talked about it as pay at the pump, where you could drive up to the gas pump, and you wouldn't even have to go inside the convenience store to buy a lottery ticket. You could, they'd have a menu. You could decide which lottery ticket you wanted to buy and buy it right there. Just make it more convenient, making it more predatory, making it more addictive. I think that gets the idea across. And my last comment would be, in public, in front of the media, I want to challenge David Barden, the CEO of the New Mexico Lottery, to a debate. Not a duel, to a debate the first week in December of this year, the 3rd to the 10th. It would be helpful if one of the TV stations or radio station decided to host us and moderate it. If not, there are some churches that would be glad to do it. But we challenge Mr. Barden to a debate on his premises and his plan to expand the lottery. Thank you very much for your attendance, and we appreciate the media coming to record this event. That is it. I'd be glad to answer any questions from the Journal or Channel 4 or anyone that's here. But very much appreciate you coming. Sorry y'all got something.
It was worth it. It was worth it.
Yeah, back to the truck. Hi. How are we doing?
Let's see. End of the video. It's about 23 minutes long. Oop.